Hello, everybody. Tuesday night NXT just off the air. Things I like, things I didn't like. And here we go. And Javon Evans is going to be that dude. And I actually wrote in my notes about Javon Evans because we're going to talk about all the things that he did today. I wrote down in my notes because I think it's true. Out of everyone in WWE or NXT right now, or the next generation, things like that, out of everyone, men and women, Javon Evans has the highest ceiling out of anybody in WWE. High flyer, can get along with anybody on the roster. Obviously can talk on the microphone. Obviously oozes of charisma. Very relatable. And while he has the size, ultimate underdog. But somebody who you can present to the audience before the show, during the show, after the show. And Javon Evans is only 20, maybe 21 now. This kid, barring, health, this kid, who I think has his head on straight, this kid could be a pillar in WWE for the next 20 years. 25 years. Like, Javon Evans could be around WWE or even AEW, whatever. He could be around for the next 25 years. I mean, Javon Evans is that freaking good, especially as a babyface. You're looking for somebody to put the strap on and be potentially a Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling for the next generation. He's on Tuesday nights right now, and his name is Javon Evans. And that's not to put down anybody else, because I think it's a lot of great talent, which we'll talk about shortly. But Javon Evans, in my opinion, has that it factor that you could put the strap on him per se, take him to the moon, and WWE can go along with him. I think Javon Evans, as a character, as a person, as far as marketability, I think he has it all. And I love seeing his development on Tuesday nights. And the wrestling's on point. So let's talk about what he did. Let's talk about what he did tonight. Called out the big dog. He did not call out Roman Reigns. But took Undertaker's advice, all the notes, all that stuff. Called out the biggest dog in the yard. I love the fact that Trick Williams assumed it was him. Obviously, it was clear that Javon was not talking about Trick Williams, but Trick Williams, he assumed it was him. Let's talk about it. It's good stuff. Javon Evans tries to make clear that actually he was talking about Obafemi. And before he could really get into that point, High Rise comes out. Wesley starts, boy, you hate his guts. Wesley, the afro is just like, dude, shut the hell up. But good heel heat from Wesley and the High Rise. And that set up Javon and Wes. And, of course, they had history beforehand, so you had that set up. And the match itself, fantastic. And again, in the ring, like, there were a couple spots. I'm laying here on the couch watching NXT. Not gonna lie to you, this episode was far from perfect. In fact, probably, unlike last week's show, which was one of my favorites, this was nowhere near any of my favorites. In fact, I don't think the show even picked up until hour number 2, if you want to foreshadow the rest of the video. But Javon hit a few moves, and I lifted up like I was the Undertaker off this couch. Amazing stuff. But yes, right now, the first 5 minutes of this video, first 5.5 minutes of this video, is dedicated to Javon Evans, who, again, I truly believe, if everything goes according to plan, he's going to be in that Mount Rushmore conversation in the next 20 to 25 years. He has everything you need in a person in that row, in the ring, outside the ring. He caters to everyone. He is cool with everyone. Javon Evans. Just watch. All right, a couple other things I like. Then I will get to the dislikes. Love the Myles Borne interview with Vic Joseph. Love it. It's been interesting. It's been the journey of Myles Borne's been weird a little bit because we did get the, he had a sit down interview talking about how he was deaf, going into his championship match a couple months back, and then since we have not really heard. Sorry, maybe bad choice of words. We have not seen Myles Borne since. I know he's appeared on television. He's had a few matches, but he really hasn't really been involved with programs since Memorial Day weekend. So it was great to finally hear from him. Again, as I said, because I've started extensively watching NXT this past summer, Lexi King, I don't really know much about him. I know he's been around NXT, but I don't really know much about him. But I am picking up the cues of, you're not taking the disability seriously. You're actually making fun of this. Bullies, that kind of thing. With the headphones and stuff. So it's going to be good to see Myles Borne stand up to him. There's actually 2 stories in NXT right now where you're seeing, actually maybe more, because Fatal Influence, you got, low-key, I actually like Fatal Influence, like kind of where things are going. Truth be told, women don't like each other. Women do not like each other. In fact, every female fan that I've talked to, they much prefer to watch men wrestle in the male storylines and the female storylines. I'm truly convinced that women over the age of 21, they prefer the male wrestlers over the female wrestlers for the most part. There are exceptions, but women do not like each other, and Fatal Influence kind of shows that. All right, I'm jumping back and forth, but I think there are 2 stories in your face on Tuesday nights where the babyface has to overcome a bully. Not just a heel, but a bully. I think in this case with Myles Borne and Lexi King,